Hey guys, stay tuned and watch as I practice and compete for the first MLF Northeast BFL of the year on the Potomac River. Made it to Maryland. Time for some breakfast. Let's get it.
Alrighty guys, time for the most expensive part of the trip. Filling up the battleship. Alrighty guys, it is 9:21 a.m. We arrived at Marshall Hall Landing. We left the house this morning at 2:43 a.m. Had to stop, fill up the truck. Had to make a pit stop for breakfast, of course, and we filled the boat up with 55 gallons of gas down here in Maryland, and we arrived. We are ready to get out there on the mighty Potomac River. We have 3 full days to figure out what these bass are doing, to come up with a game plan for Saturday to give ourselves a chance to win. So I'm gonna get the boat in the water right after I suit up in my rain gear because they are calling for some nasty weather later. So let's get going.
For day 1 of practice, I decided I'd fish from the Woodrow Wilson Bridge down to Gunston Cove, and this is the northern territory of where I'd be practicing this week. You can see there was tons of debris in the water, lots of floating logs, which really make boating conditions unsafe sometimes. So we took it nice and easy, but you can see it didn't take long for me to hook up with my first fish.
Only about 12 inches, but
he was a fish. Well, something I noticed really quickly in my first day of practice in these areas was that the vegetation that used to be in these spots was almost non-existent this year, and that made fishing conditions really tough in these spots because bass in tidal water especially love vegetation this time of year. They use it to spawn and they use it as cover from prey to ambush them. So without any vegetation, I decided to spend the rest of the day targeting hard cover and structure like dock posts and marina pilings and trees and rocks, and I was only able to come up with 1 keeper today.
guys, first fish on the Potomac River of 2022. He's a keeper. We'll take him.
Well, check out the sores on this fish's tail. This tells me that this bass is currently making a bed or is currently spawning. So that gives me some insight as to what these fish are doing here on the Potomac River right now. Practice day 2, I decided to run south and fish from Quantico Creek down to a quiet creek. As you can see, the main Potomac River was pretty rough. It didn't take long for me to realize that there was much more vegetation down here than there was up north where I practiced yesterday. So that made me really excited, but I was still hesitant about making a run down to, say, a quiet creek or Potomac Creek on Saturday because they were calling for horrible wind conditions for Saturday. Gusts up to 30 miles per hour, so that would make boating on the main river rather sketchy and difficult, which I wasn't excited to do. But regardless, I fished from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. down here, and I struggled to dial in the bite. I could only find this one small fish, so I must not have been doing something right. For practice day number 3, I woke up to pouring rain. And I'm not gonna lie, I drug my feet getting out of bed and out of the hotel and into the truck a little bit, because after fishing on the Potomac 2 grueling days, only catching 2 or 3 fish, I wasn't exactly excited to go out and fish in these conditions. As you can see, a lot of my fishing buddies decided to leave the boats in the parking lot today and take the day off. But I still didn't figure anything out. I had to get out there and try to figure out the bite. So that's exactly what we did.
Yes, baby, we're back. How's that? 2 days of practice is nothing. How's that? Yeah. That's why you come out in the rain, boys and girls. That's why you come out in the rain. Alrighty, guys, it only took 2 full days of fishing. Please come back to play tomorrow. Alrighty, guys, well, it's been a heck of a practice period. To make it even more crazy, yesterday my one Solix 10 shorted out and busted and will not turn on. The power supply is good, something wrong with the unit. And then today, the other one decides to do the same thing on a completely different power supply. So I wonder if it has something to do with my 360 transducer, shorting out the units or something. I don't really know, but all I know is we have no birds on the front deck tomorrow. Thankfully, we have our Garmin Live Scope up there, but you can see I have a jerry-rigged perspective mount for tomorrow. Our attempts at getting something close to 360 imaging. Gotta roll with the punches. Let's go see if we can't catch them tomorrow. Good morning from Waldorf, Maryland. Today is Saturday, May 7th. It is currently 2:45 in the morning, and it is the first BFL of the Northeast Division for Major League Fishing of the year on the Potomac River. Super pumped up, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a very, very difficult practice. I haven't figured too much out. I've run from the Woodrow Wilson Bridge all the way down to Aquia Creek and Potomac Creek, and I haven't figured too much out. So where does that leave us today? It leaves us scratching our heads a little bit. I think I'm gonna start local. It's already blowing out here. They're calling for pouring rain all day long, so I'm gonna try to stay local. If I can't get that bite figured out, I'm gonna make a short run, try to go fish some grass, fish some flats, probably in a community hole. If that doesn't work, we might be running all the way down south and fishing Potomac Creek, Aquia Creek. The grass is pretty good down there, although it was a difficult bite for me. I don't really know what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna put trolling motor down, keep our lines wet, try to grind out some fish, try to put a 5-fish limit together, see if we can't come home with this victory. Stay tuned, it's gonna be an interesting show. Already, guys, topping off the boat. Not sure how much gas we're gonna need this morning, so better safe than sorry, fill it up. I'm grateful as I use my app called Upside. Found an offer at this gas station here in Waldorf, Maryland to save 12 cents off a gallon of gas. And that's really helpful when I'm filling up a 55-gallon boat. Got my truck, which takes almost 30 gallons. I'm traveling hundreds of miles a tournament, thousands of miles a year in the truck and the boat. So if you like saving money on gas like I do, you can download this app and use my referral code and start saving money on gas stations local to you and wherever you're traveling. It also works on some grocery stores and restaurants in your area. It's free cash back. Makes sense, no brainer. Download it now, start saving like I do. Use a referral code, get it.
I got the boat in the water at 4 o'clock a.m. and it was already pouring and blowing out.
With the cloud cover this morning, we may be delayed a few minutes. We have straight lock. Make sure. Code 21. Thank you, 21.
Alrighty, bro. Let's go get them.
Roll.
22, Ricky 22.
Well, as I mentioned, that wind was ripping, and the main river was just as rough as we thought it would be. So I decided to start local, and for the whole tournament, I would stay relatively local as well. I decided not to run down to Aquia or Potomac Creek at all, because it would take a long time to get down there, battling through some choppy waves. But you can see I start my morning fishing some grass in Mattawoman Creek, and it didn't take long for me to hook up with my first fish.
Nice. Let's go. Let's go. All right, thank you, sir. Sure. Get that back in there. Let's go.
Nice fish.
Oh, God. He ain't much, but we are on the board.
Well, I was optimistic that that early catch would be a sign of good luck to come, but that was not the case. I can only find one more fish all day long, and it was a short one. Well, I hooked one or two other fish, but couldn't keep them pinned, so that's unfortunately the story of my day. My co-angler, John Piscavage, he had a great day, though. Here he is with his first ever snakehead, but he caught 4 largemouth for 11 pounds, 11 ounces, which got him an 18th place finish and a check. He even had a big one jump off near the boat, his 5th fish. It was about 5 pounds, so oh well, what can you do? But way to go on figuring out the bite that I just could not get dialed in today. You guys can check him out on YouTube at John Piscavage Fishing.
Anthony Ogle from Quakerstown, Pennsylvania, fishing on the boater side. Got one in the bag for me. Went out there and worked hard. It just did. Sometimes it don't work. He's going to weigh 2 pounds, 10 ounces. That got you a start, but you're the other half of the reel winner. So right there is your ducket reel from Ducket Fishing. Thank you. Appreciate you.
So I ended up weighing in my one fish for 2 pounds and 10 ounces, which got me in 97th place out of 115 boaters. It's not what I hoped for, but I'll take it, and it's so important to at least weigh in fish at every event to get those precious Angler of the Year points. I need to be in the top 45 anglers and Angler of the Year points to qualify for the regional championship on the James River this year, so that's the goal. Well, my decision to play it safe and stay local instead of making the rough run down south to fish that key grass that we found turned out not to be a good decision, because most anglers in the top 10, including my buddy Damian Schlachta, made that run down south and figured the bite out in that grass. So way to go, buddy, for figuring that out. Well, that's a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Up next, we're going back to the Chesapeake Bay for the Elite Force Bassmasters second club tournament of the year. So we'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, would you please give it a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel? If you're on Facebook and Instagram, would you follow me there as well? I offer fishing charters in Southeast Pennsylvania, so if you want to come fishing with me in my 21-foot Nitro bass boat, learn more information at anthonyogle.com. Thank you guys. We'll see you out in the water.